We didn't see the creature, but that's not to say it's not out there. The Clark's footage is definitely intriguing, and it's been put under the microscope by a number of experts. One believes it's genuine.
The Clark brothers sent their video to Clifford Paver, a physicist and former satellite imagery analyst for the US Navy. He examined the footage and concluded that the video contains authentic images of several large, elongated marine animals. Creatures as yet unknown to science.
The length of the animal, or the animals, indicate that it's very unusual. It's hard to make a correlation to the fossil record. It looks like a serpentine animal. I went with a large sea snake, but it's very difficult to make any kind of assessment as to what that might be. Only that it wasn't faked and that the animals were real.
Dr. Paver has also determined that they're over 100 feet long and appear to be traveling in a pod of 6.
We have animals there in San Francisco Bay. They're probably predator type, you know, and they have to eat. Now, if the animals are real, then, and we have limited knowledge of this, or no knowledge of it, they can be dangerous. The San Francisco people need to at least investigate the possibility of having unknown animals in that bay. That's why I put in the report. People need to check this out. It should be done.
Dr. Paver has concluded his analysis, and he's determined that the video is authentic and that it does contain several large, elongated, unknown marine animals. We don't know what they are. In the video, we actually used a Sausalito ferry that came through at the same time. As for the scale of the animal, we have determined from Sausalito Ferry Company that that particular boat is 169 feet long. So we have a good way of judging the size of the animal and the speed of the animal from that.
You don't think it could be something as simple as, say, a flock of birds all flying in a line together, then coming up and all diving into the water at once?
No, I don't. We thought that was the first thing, that was the possibility, but when we examined it, if we've seen birds from that distance, and they will eventually come up off of the air, and there's no way that a flock of birds could make that turn at that speed and follow themselves and all dive down into the water together. Doing that same movement would be impossible for a flock of birds to do. And actually, when you look at this on a still frame, you can see the connection between the front of them, even though, because some parts are slightly above the water, some are just below the water, so you can see the shading in there when you freeze frame it and look at it closely.
Frightening stuff, my darlings. Frightening stuff. Dan and Nat are off to Georgia to investigate a denizen of the deep whose legend goes back centuries.
It was the biggest thing I've ever seen in the water, and I have no idea what it was.
We're in coastal Georgia on the trail of an undersea monster known as the Altamaha. It's named after the Altamaha River, the waterway it's known to frequent. There is no photograph, nor any video footage. But for centuries, its image has been burned into many people's memories.
From historical descriptions, the Altamaha is a classic sea serpent.
The indigenous tribes of this area handed down stories of a giant river monster. The sightings stretch from here in Georgia all the way down to Florida. Some witnesses say that there's a snort just before the creature dives, suggesting that it's either a mammal or a reptile.